Need specifically from Tom Brady in order to advance past the surprisingly dangerous Tennessee Titans?
There's three things that you need from Tom Brady. Number one, no turnovers. We saw the pick six last week against the Dolphins. It ended up costing him the game in some way there. So he can't turn the ball over. And the errant throws, that's a big thing. The second thing we need from him, we got to find a way that the Patriots can find explosive plays in that offense. Can you get the ball downfield to Dorsett? Can you get the ball downfield to Harry at some point? Get a big chunk plays. They haven't been able to go little by little by little, play by play down the field. They need a special play, a chunk play, explosive play down the field. And last thing, they need to be able to hand the football off. In 4 of the last 5 games, they've averaged over 130 yards rushing. Make sure you get Sony Michel involved in the game plan. That means Tom Brady takes the ball out of his hands, hands the ball off to Sony Michel. Try to control the game that way.
I'm right there with you. I think Tom Brady's got to take care of the football. You can't afford any turnovers, especially with this Tennessee Titans defense, because they're top 10 in takeaways, and they've lived off of being able to play defense and steal possessions and keep the opposing offense off the field through that fashion. But I think another important thing for Tom Brady to do in this game is to make sure he finds a way to get his offense to score points early. This Tennessee Titans team wants to run the football. They're undefeated when Derrick Henry runs for over 100 yards. The way you can talk them out of running the football is get this team down early and force Ryan Tannehill to play from behind. Everybody talks about how great of a season Ryan Tannehill has had, #1 passer rating in the NFL, and then #1 in terms of yards per attempt. But a lot of those big plays in the passing game come from play action, having the opportunity to get opposing defenses to sell out against the run and then get favorable looks, favorable matchups. You don't get that if you're talking about the Titans being down double digits in that ball game. So I think dictating the complexion of the game is paramount for the Patriots to be able to come out of this weekend with a win. Tom Brady's got to find a way to be able to score points early, force this Titans team to play from behind.
The #1 thing you guys said, and I will echo it, is play a clean game. And that is, even at age 42, that is something Tom Brady over the breadth and width of the entire season has done a good job in. But not shockingly, the 4 times the Patriots have lost, Tom Brady has done that. Now, not a pick six necessarily, but he's thrown a critical interception in a bad spot. And I do think it is a legitimate question to ask at this point. Who is, I was going to say in 2019, but in 2020 now, the real Tom Brady? We know who he is over the course of his career, but I'm talking about right here, right now. Is he the guy we saw the first half of the season that still looked like one of the 8 or 9 best quarterbacks in football? Or is he the guy we've seen the second half of the season, not 3 games, not 5 games, 8 games, where the team is 500, where they just lost to the worst defense in football, the Miami Dolphins, and where Tom Brady's numbers look like this? The second half of the season, he is dead last in the NFL in completion percentage, 30th in the NFL in yards per attempt, 27th in the NFL in passer rating. That's awful. And that is not a tiny sample size. It's a sample size of half the season. And that game against the Dolphins, while statistically it wasn't his worst game of the season, it might have been his worst game of the season because of who they were playing. The Dolphins, while Brian Flores deserves credit for that team not tanking and them getting to 5 wins, they finished the year as the worst defense in the league by far. The worst pass defense according to DVOA, the Football Outsiders folks, by far. And you couldn't take advantage of it. You went 16 of 29, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the 1 interception that was the critical interception. We have lowered our standards so much for Brady that the game against the Bills, we say that was a great game. He threw for 270 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, he was efficient, completed like 74% of his passes. It was a good game by any standards. But not that long ago, just a season and a half ago, that would have been the expected performance from Tom Brady, even against a good defense. So I do wonder what Tom Brady we're going to see. I know this has to happen. The Titans have the 31st ranked red zone defense. The Patriots have struggled this year in turning 3 into 7. They're 26th red zone offense. When they get down there, because they don't get down there often. The defense scores, special team scores. The offense doesn't have those 8 plays, 65, 70, 75-yard drives. When they get down there, they have to turn those opportunities into 7 points. That's something they weren't able to do early in the game against Miami, and it it cost them late in the game.
When the second half of the season, opposed to the first. Now, first half of the season, they played some bad football teams. The second half, they played KC, Baltimore, Houston, and the Bills, and they beat the Bills. But here's the thing. Tom Brady, when accurate, he can get things done. These last few games, really almost all season, he just hasn't been accurate, overthrowing guys too high, missing guys wide. And then there's other times, like I think the Eric Rowe interception, where he panicked a little bit, went to his first read, wasn't there, panicked and just tried to get the ball out of his hands. He's concerned about the contact that he's going to be getting. They have to be able to protect him, make sure that he has confidence in that pocket. That way, he can be accurate throwing the ball down the field. We are used to seeing an accurate Tom Brady. We haven't seen that guy most of the season.
Yeah, I don't want to give Tom Brady any passes for being inaccurate, but I do believe that some of the misses and some of the turnovers are as a result of not being able to trust those young wide receivers and those guys not being in the positions that he's expecting them to be in. So that's one of the things that you have to watch, especially early in this game. But, Nick, to your point about scoring when you have the opportunity in the red zone, they have to be able to take advantage of that because the Tennessee Titans are not good in that area. The Patriots haven't been good all year in that area either, but I think another critical area where the Patriots have to be good is sudden change. When that defense gets takeaway opportunities, that offense has to respond and be able to put points on the board. I think that's important in this matchup. That's something that we have to look at because that defense didn't play well in their regular season finale as well. I mean, you had a 4-point lead with 4 minutes to go against the Miami Dolphins, and you couldn't close it out. Stephon Gilmore was getting cooked by Devontae Parker. So that defense has to play much better than the last time we saw them on the field. I believe they will be up for the challenge against the Tennessee Titans, but it's also about being able to play complementary football, and that offense and that special teams have to come to the party as well.
Obviously, the one interception against the Dolphins came against former Patriot Eric Rowe, the best slot corner in football this year, the person who's going to be lined up on